All right, and so for the second part of mine, Ethan's still here, but he's patiently waiting for me so we can go get food. So I will make this quick because we're hungry. Um, so the career that I had switched from um, architecture, of course, as we've seen in the previous video, I had switched from architecture to preservation design. Now, preservation design is a good fine line between the architecture and the interior design field. You're going to get both. And so, with that, architecture, interior design, restoration, preservation, all of those classes all fall under the same branch. So, officially trying to switch between those classes, as long as you have everything you need, you should be able to swiftly just move your stuff accordingly. So for the preservation class, the first class I officially took was last quarter, because as opposed to Ethan, who switched, when did you switch? In like the middle of a quarter?
I switched towards the middle of the quarter of my second year.
Yeah, so he switched in the middle of the quarter, whereas I switched over the summer. So again, my transition process was a little different because I wasn't currently in classes. I didn't have to really drop any to try and transfer anything. So I kind of was able to start with a clean slate when I came back. So when I came back and started in preservation, I had my my intro to preservation design. Now the intro to preservation class, every single first intro class is going to seem like a piece of cake. Don't get overconfident, because if you get overconfident, you're going to get like slapped in the face by the next year that you have. The teacher I had, Ryan Madison, was honestly probably one of the best professors I've had. We probably didn't get along as well as we should have, but you have to learn to read each teacher differently, and the architecture teacher I had before was probably more laxed. And to be honest, I believe that the school kind of threw him into our class because I don't technically think we had a teacher for our class. So that happens a lot. You'll get a professor that's in your profession but not in your grade category. So like he was teaching juniors, seniors, capstone students, all those fun people, and then had to figure out how to teach freshmen. So it was a little rocky, but he honestly is a really good teacher. You're gonna run into him, and then the teacher I have this quarter, you'll hear more about her later. And so in that first intro class, what you're really focusing on is the some of the symbolics to it. You're learning a lot about the preservation of Savannah itself in that base foundations class. You do get a little bit of worldly stuff, but mainly you're focusing on Savannah for your base thing. Once you get higher in your classes, then you can start to expand. But as for that first one, you're really straight focusing on the Savannah grind, what Savannah would be looking for to convert to everything. You're going to learn how to basically do the research you need to do to be able to eventually put something on like the National Register or something, which is a project I'm currently working on for my second year preservation class. So for the first one, you're learning the vocab, you're learning the history, and basically kind of how to articulate yourself with everything. You'll make posters, everything, projects. This is when your career is actually going to start to try and take off. Because a lot of your professors, when you have presentations, are going to invite seniors. They're going to invite actual people to come listen to your thing. So you really have to stay focused and stay on the grind for those professional sort of classes. Once you get to that stage, you are officially in your career. This is where you need to start making your connections. So even if you don't like the person that much, use them. Well, don't use them, but you know what I mean. A lot of these classes are going to have people of all different ages in there. So you're not just going to have your grade in there. You're going to have seniors. You're going to have sophomores. You might even have a transfer sophomore or transfer senior. But all of these classes they're going to have different people in them, because even though it is a specific major class, you are going to get people from different fields. And not necessarily fields all over, but in my class we have preservation design, interior design, architecture, everything that falls under that branch. Everybody's going to end up taking some of these classes in tandem, because half of these classes go to all 4 branches. Again, the first intro class, it's really just the intro class, so there's not a lot to say about that class. But for the second one, which is the one that I'm in, which is the Pres 110, this is where you're really getting into the nitty gritty of the actual resource and research aspect of it. You're going to learn how to go through files, go through anything documenting history. You're going to go through sandboard maps. You're going to learn what those are. You're going to learn the more professional vocabulary, how to write stuff down, how to do a detailed descriptive, basically description of any building you have. We really only just had midterms, so again, can't really say much about this class, but I have learned a lot in this class in the fact of the resources that are available. Now, SCAD always says we have resources everywhere, and they really do, but it's up to you to look for them because SCAD does not spell stuff out for you. Especially not for this major. So if you're coming into one of these majors, brace yourself for impact, because I definitely had to. Some of these classes might make you cry. Some may not. It's really based on how strong of a willpower you have. But again, this school is not easy. But again, in that for the second one, you're going to learn your sandboard maps. You're going to learn your there's a bunch of vocabulary words. If you can't tell, I'm still trying to learn them. But you're going to go through your archival photos, anything archival, newspaper clippings. You'll go through history books. A lot of the libraries and stuff have them. There's a lot of different things that come along with that process, but other than that, that's pretty much all I have for this one. As the class goes on, I will explain more about what we have to do. And when this main project is done, I'll do a short video on what you have to do for this class in order to actually make something eligible for the roster. And yeah. So thanks for staying tuned for this little mini series of this channel, and I will catch you in the next one.